Okay. Good evening, everybody. Please rise for our October 22nd special meeting for the flag pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I know it's a very short agenda. We had some questions at our last week's meeting about the library boiler replacement. We asked Eric to get some information. We have our vendor here. So if you guys want to kind of start, it's pretty informal. We'll go back and forth. And
yeah, sure.
maybe tell us the scope. The reason was if there was between the different quotes, a big number. And we just wanted to feel comfortable that we are doing the right thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you guys for making a special meeting. Move ahead with this. Just to kind of refresh your memory, there's 4 boilers currently in the library. As I mentioned, they get a lot of use, maybe more than other buildings, because the library does run during the summer for humidity reasons. To answer somebody's question, they were installed in 2005, 20 years old. Like I think,
Cynthia can't hear. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah. Is there a volume up and everything?
No, as far as I know.
Yeah, we're working on it. Cynthia, you can't hear us?
Brad can hear us, so.
Brad, you can hear us, right?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Eric is a little quiet, but I can hear him coming through.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Where's the microphone? Is that mic?
Yeah. All right, we'll try it again, Cynthia. Just wave if you can't hear us, okay?
Maybe move your chair up under the microphone.
Yeah, just a little closer, maybe. Let's see. There you go. Budget season's coming, so yeah, I'll just warm into this, all right? We're going with no tables.
So the four current boilers installed in 2005. The first 2 of them are out, and as I think I mentioned, Josh found out. This is Josh Adams from E&D, the vendor, if you don't already know, that it was the controls was calling those first 2. So whereas in best practice, it should be kind of spreading the load across the 4 boilers. It was always calling 1 and 2. And so those are the 2 that basically went out. So I think I can pass it over to Josh but I can just say, I think one of the other questions was, how long will these new boilers work? Essentially, probably more than 20 years, because it's been about 20 years for these existing ones. And they were pretty heavily used, more than they should have been. So there's no reason to think that this is the same exact boiler wouldn't last as long, probably longer. And then the other big thing, I think, was why the cost differential. There's 2 main reasons, which Josh can elaborate on if I skip over anything or have any questions. But basically, the other 2 vendors were planning to do the whole shebang. I guess they call it nuking the room, like all the pipes, everything. They're going to do everything new. And so that adds up to more labor, more parts and everything. Josh is going to come in and basically switch out the 2 in basically a day. So most of that's going to get done in 1 day. And then the second part of that, for the cost differential, was he's putting the existing boilers in that I think are 85% efficient.
Yeah, they run between 80, 84 if you look them up on ASHRAE, right?
Which is good. It's still very efficient. But the newer, higher end models are more expensive. So, and a lot of the bells and whistles that they have, we don't really need, because we have a control system. So although the new boilers, the other 2 vendors were proposing, have a lot of like software built in. I think Josh said they just plug your laptop into it.
Right.
These boilers would do just fine. So that's kind of the summary, but go ahead if there's any more detailed questions.
Sure. Bob, good. Why don't you start down the end there?
Yeah, my question, I'm just kind of making sure I understood what you said, that the estimated going forward useful life was going to be 20 years.
Yeah, so I looked up ASHRAE standards before I came just to find out. So ASHRAE is the governing, party for heating, cooling, air conditioning, and their standards for cast iron steel boiler median life is 30 to 35 years, right? These two boilers, the way they're sequenced now, the control system, it's boiler one, you call for heat for any reason, boiler one's coming on. You need more, boiler two's coming on, then boiler three, then boiler four. The way we would do it today is we would shed the load across all four, and then we call it, lead lag. I want to have equal runtime across all four boilers. So every 40 hours, it'll say, okay, boiler four might be number one, or another 40 hours, boiler two might be number one. So it's going to shed that load across to give you equal runtime. You don't have that now. So when I originally to meet with them to talk about the boilers, they'd mentioned they had other quotes, and I'm like, I don't want to know what they're going to do. I want to go over there and figure out, why did boiler one fail and boiler two fail? To me, that's a red flag, right? The first two, so it's either a piping issue, pipe wrong, or it's a sequence of operation. And that's what it ended up being, right? So 1 and 2 get the most amount of use. So even if it was a 20-year, they took the brunt of it, because we do run the boilers in the summertime for dehumidification in the library. Because of all the paper, the books, you need to dry that air, right? So you're running cooling or reheating the air with the boilers. So they run all year, unlike your house where you're going to turn it off maybe. But so before I came, I did it's 30 to 35. So that's the average, right? It's median. So, we've seen, a bigger cast iron boiler that could be 40, 50, 60 years old. And we're still just going to replace those sections of the boiler, not the whole boiler, but there's a little bit different scenario.
So we're just trying to think like this, what's the future gonna look like? The
Yeah.
two existing boilers seem to have remaining useful life of
Agreed.
10 to 20 years.
Sure.
And then these new ones will come in with 35 here.
That's
Again.
the goal, right? Yeah. Check the load. And we don't know what the runtime is on the other ones. There's nothing, they don't have data loggers that are telling us how many run hours or how many ignitions, or, unfortunately, it's not that sophisticated over there, right? If we did, that'd be great, right? Because then it would say, all right, we know exactly how many hours they've had on them, kind of give you a ballpark of what your life expectancy might be with those other two. But I think it's pretty safe to assume that you're going to get a fair amount of time on them for sure. And then, because now you're going to spread the load out across, with our proposal, we're including a sequencer that would spread the load out across.
So
all
is
four.
that software or something that you're gonna add to
Yeah,
it?
so it's a simple,
Cool.
it's a Tecmar control box. It's like at home, you might have a Takeo, panel next to your boiler, something same size as that, a little blue box. And then the call from the control system over there is going to go to that box, and that box is going to determine which boiler, and like every 40 hours, it'll change lead lag, kind of to spread the load out. That's all. Yeah, just because the technology's not in them. The boilers are nice because they're just mechanical, right? It's just a contact, a relay, a switch.
Give it fuel.
Right. Yeah, fuel, air, spark, and you got a boiler, right? There's no, circuit boards, control boards, touch screens. Like, yeah, those other ones do. We do the other ones a lot. I love doing those boilers. It's a lot of fun. We plug them all in, we cascade them together. You come in, and we have the app on our phone or iPad or whatever. But yeah, it comes at a premium, right? Sure.
So basically, some of us were up in the house, I believe.
Penthouse, yeah.
But again, so there's 4 boilers.
Yep.
So you're just plucking 2 whole boilers. You're cutting off the supply, the fuel.
Just the exchange, I mean,
No,
the
I'm gonna replace
boxes.
Yeah, he's
the
replacing
entire
the whole-
boiler.
the whole
I
boiler.
can still get that boiler, and that's what originally it said, like, oh, we can't get them anymore. I'm like, yeah, let me look into that. Yeah, you can still get them. So I can still go boiler 1 and 2, the jacketing, the boiler, everything. We're literally just gonna valve them off,
That blue box is gonna be dropped in.
unbolt them, slide them out, crane them out of the roof, set 2 new ones, roll them into place, bolt them up. So, to Eric's point, it's a 1-day job, in my opinion. We're gonna go the day ahead, prep them, drain them, disconnect them.
Do some legwork.
Yeah, the second day, the crane will show up, we'll crane them out of there, put them back in. Third day,
And
touches.
getting them for this heat season is
It's 4 to 5 weeks out.
4 to 5, you said.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Nothing compared to this.
it's not bad, and you're running on 2 boilers right now. You've been limping, I think 1 boiler's been down for a couple of years, now the second one is, so, yeah, you're right. I think there's redundancy,
Yeah.
with any building, there's redundancy, that's why there's 4 boilers there. If you had 1 at home, your 1 boiler goes down, you're on that phone pretty quick, right? With these, you don't even know it, that 1 boiler's down until, somebody says, the guy makes his rounds or whatever. and
The other 3 will keep running,
Yeah.
Knowing one is out, is
Exactly.
say, okay, send it to the next one.
Exactly.
It just won't shut off.
Yeah, and it's the way the control system works now too. It's been doing that for a while now.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have any questions?
Yeah, so
Cynthia,
this,
Cynthia?
Oh, Cynthia, I'm sorry.
No, I don't know, but
We can hear you right there, Cynthia.
No, now you can. I had a little problem. I'm fine. I have a question right now.
Is there any questions,
she
John?
has no questions, please?
I have a question.
Yes.
So the two boilers that are staying haven't been used much.
Mhm.
What's gonna happen when they suddenly wake up? Are they gonna cop once and give up the ghost?
No, they're still running. I mean, they're running
They're still
today.
okay?
Oh yeah, those are running,
Okay.
sure. We got one of them running just a few weeks ago. It was a reset switch on it. You know, I think they'd done a repair to the pump and nobody actually hit the reset switch in the boiler. So those other two are currently running right now. That's how you've got heat indication.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
they are
Like
working.
Oh yeah,
They are
absolutely,
running. Okay.
absolutely.
And then, so the reason for the discrepancy in the quotes was, just to make sure I understand, the other companies wanted to just come in and replace the whole thing with the new system, top of the line, whatever.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is, we've got two boilers that work fine, why get rid of them? So we're just bringing in
We're just gonna unplug two.
the
put
two
of
and
the
replace with
exact-
the same thing,
Right.
but put the new controller system in that will spread the load around.
Bias some life, yeah. Yeah, the other way, it's, you know, the other boilers, they're great, but it's all new flue venting through the roof, so it's roof work, some new engineering, welding of the pipes, the gas lines, it's extensive, the amount of work that's gotta go on. And then if it's over $100,000, it's prevailing wage.
And are the fancy new ones any more energy efficient? Would they
Of
save
course.
us money over time?
Of course,
Is it enough of savings that we would recoup the difference in cost?
yeah. How many years out, I'm not positive, you know, we'd have to know how much you're paying per therm, for natural gas, what your usage is, your run hours. I don't know that we, have that information, but we could figure out the gas. But, so we're doing one now, it's, oil to gas, which it's always a no-brainer, right? And that's like a 13 or 14 year. So it's a little bit different because you're already gas, right? So you're already a little bit higher efficiency. So I think it'd be spread out even longer. And plus the cost of the job is even more than the other one that we're doing now, right?
Yeah, I don't think it would make sense, if we were gonna do that, we probably wanna do all four.
That's what I mean. If you're just doing two, it's 50% of the savings, really.
Right.
And
Right,
you wouldn't
exactly.
do that.
That's really what I'm asking. If we go with the higher quote to replace all four, are we gonna
No,
recoup
that's not
that
even
cost?
replace all.
Oh,
It's
that's
more
not
expensive
expensive.
just for the two.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's how much
right.
more expensive.
so then it's still the same boilers? Or, no, it's the fancier
There's four.
boilers?
It would be
We're-
two-
they were
So we would have
it be
two old ones and two fancy
yes,
ones.
Right.
So we're not really gonna recoup much of a, efficiency cost if we're only doing two.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to do something like that too, that's not a 1 or 2 day job, that would take.
Yeah, it doesn't make
2 or
sense.
3
I think
weeks.
it's not,
So you're going into the heating season, do you want to shut it down for 2 or 3 weeks? I don't know if you could. Yeah, right.
Josh, not to make your job look simple.
No.
But the other company wanted to put a fancy boiler and it needed different equipment to make the thing work.
Agreed.
And that's why the other bids are much.
Sure.
You are plug and playing, so the pipe is right into the inlet to
I don't even have to repipe anything.
that's what I mean.
Literally,
You're just
we're gonna break unions or flanges. These are probably flanges,
Right.
right?
You're talking short pieces of
4-volt
pipe.
flange.
Right.
Put it out in a dolly, roll a new one in. And yeah, it's literally plug and play,
Right.
right? Keep it simple. I mean, I don't need to reinvent the wheel over there to work for 20 years. The issue has been the sequencing of it. Really, that was the demise of the boilers, in my opinion.
And I give Josh a lot of credit for that, because the other two contractors didn't ask that question. They just said, okay, here's two brand new top of
Making
the
a
line
job out of it.
Cadillac.
Right.
Just
boilers.
the whole system, yeah.
And Josh said, well, wait a second, why are 1 and 2 down? But maybe something's going
It's
on.
time to.
Yeah.
Is there any value?
I'm sorry, Bob?
Is there any, I'm just curious, is there any value in the old boilers, metal, scrap metal?
Scrap metal. That's it. You get back to Jeep, I'd probably put it in there. with crane.
Run the roof,
Right, exactly. There you go, Ray.
right?
Cynthia, did you, I know we're going around the room. Cynthia, did you have any other questions? Or
No, no, because the last time, I think I understood what the whole, why we were doing what we're doing. So I really don't have any questions.
Okay, great. Bob, is there anything else that you're thinking? No. Josh, I do appreciate the time coming in.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you know, we want to take care of our town buildings,
Right.
but we just don't want to spend money on meeting. them,
Agreed.
you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's kind of our goal, right? We get the maintenance contract for there and here, and we're just slowly peeling layers of the onion and just kind of figuring out like what's a priority, what's not, you know. I don't want to divulge too much, but you know, I've been here on the roof of the building in the middle of winter and the AC has been running
I know, it's just crazy.
32 degrees out, we're freezing, and the AC's on, and I'm like, but your the previous contractor,
Mhm.
like, it's a problem for.
It's a big waste and there's so much waste and it's nice that we're gonna try to undo some of this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, It wasn't for the IT room or anything. You didn't hit the switch, did you?
Hmm?
The IT room, yeah.
Question, it's not related to the, I'm good with everything. Could you just explain to me why in the summer you have to run the heat? Why isn't the AC just drawing the humidity down?
It would overcool the space.
It get clammy.
Oh,
and chilly.
because
Yeah.
it would have to run longer to try to
Yeah,
get the
yeah, what you're
humidity.
trying to do is dry the air through the unit itself, right? So you're gonna saturate that coil, we're gonna make that coil freezing cold, that, you know, so all the moisture in the air is condensing on the coil like your condensate drain, right? But if we did that for extended periods of time, it would be freezing over there. So the heating coils after the cooling coil, so you're reheating the air after it goes through the cooling coil. We're just drying the air out. That's all.
So that's the only way to do it
In a commercial.
in a commercial? I mean,
Pretty much.
you just don't dehumidify like we do in the basements, right? I
Well,
mean,
that's what it's doing, you know?
Yeah.
And-
no, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but, you know, it seems like we're running heating oil
Or
to
gas.
create this or gas, whatever.
Yeah, I know, it's brutal.
That's how you do it. That's the standard.
That's the standard.
You wouldn't say you're crazy for doing that.
No.
This is what you need to
Right,
do.
you know, so other commercial buildings, will do the same exact thing. We're running, you know, we have a really deep coil for the refrigeration. The deeper, you know, if you have a small coil, the air goes through it pretty quick, you only pick up so much moisture. The deeper the coil, more rows in that coil, the more humidity we can pull out of it, but we're making that air colder and colder as it goes across that coil, so you've got to reheat it. So it's a matter of we're gonna do it with gas, if it's modulating gas, a rooftop unit or a package unit, or it's gonna be electric heat, right? So a lot of times if it's a VAV system, there might be electric reheat somewhere, so, I know.
So does the library require humidity in the 20s because of the books or?
No, we could never get it that low anyway, right?
Yeah, so I mean, so,
I don't know what their setting is on that, but I'm sure it's in like, you know, 50s or 60s, somewhere in that range. So it's not driving it, you know,
right, the
super
ground
dry
to keep
over
the
there.
books from mold or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. That's it, just maintaining some
You
kind
know,
of
he knows
consistency.
it's 20.
Yeah, right. Just some kind of consistency over there, with the humidity, that's all.
Cool, thank
Yeah.
you.
But we can definitely look into it and find out what that number is, if the target temperature.
No, it was just, you know, it just seems so crazy to think we're heating and cooling at the same time to keep the humidity down.
Yeah, it's that, and then because it's a VAV system, it's constant volume, so we're constantly supplying air everywhere in the library. And some of the VAVs, distribution boxes, are gonna have a hot water coil in them. So you have air coming, like right now, the air, we hear it, right? The air's coming in, and if you didn't necessarily want cooling in here in the middle of the summer, it's too cold, that reheat's gonna come back on and reheat the air. Yeah, it's the nature of the beast with commercial buildings.
Just big spaces.
Then you can change humidity room, you know, so that,
Exactly.
you don't want a hot water coil in a VAV,
Yeah.
just because we ask for, you know, how to
We want to maintain a certain temperature range between 70 and 73. You know, and there's a bigger zone that's calling for cooling, so your reheat's going to kick in. So it's either going to be hot water or it's going to be electric.
I know Kathy didn't have any handouts, but do we have the quote, a copy of the quote there so that we can look at it?
I can.
Oh, Kathy
Got it.
See, who said to do that?
See, I came through, I came through in the end.
Is there any other questions on any of this? I think we, just going for a direct swap out. We're changing things out, so. John, would you like to make a motion?
Can I just say, Eric, did you want to say anything about?
Oh.
the contingency to it? Because that's not
Oh,
what's on
so
here.
the Board of Selectmen, basically added, 16% contingency, they brought it up to.
To 42,000, right? Yeah,
but
even.
I'm, you know, I'm okay with the 10.
No,
Listen, if we know someone's watching it, you know what I mean, it's just not a change order for a change order,
Mhm.
we're good with having contingency. Because you're only gonna spend what you have to spend, you know what I mean?
Yes,
So,
yes. And
it-
I don't want to come back asking for.
we'll have a special meeting. We'll put you right in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion that we spend the amount of $42,000 to repair the heating system in the library, and award that bid to B&D Controlled Air Corporation. So again, for $42,000, that's with the contingency, and that's gonna come out of the CNR account.
I'll second your motion. We have a motion.
That motion was up to 42,000, right, John?
And not to exceed, sorry, thanks,
Not
Brad.
to exceed.
Second. Yeah, I'll try everybody's mind. Do we have a motion and a second? Any other discussion on the motion? Try everybody's mind, say what's saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, Cynthia, good. Okay.
Aye.
It passed unanimous. And, I'd make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second your motion.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor? Thank you, Cynthia, for getting on. I know it's late. Good night, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, Sean, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Makes sense.
Well, how are you?